Rant about Marco Rubio here, and that is not something I have often done from this microphone. But here's the deal. I've been impressed with Rubio since he burst on the scene and cleaned Charlie Crist clock not once but twice to become Florida's junior senator. What is it that I admired about Marco Rubio? And I suspect you admired as well. This was a guy who was smart. This was a guy who was a rock-solid conservative. This is a guy who was a great communicator. And this was a guy, unlike so many politicians, who never talked out of both sides of his mouth and said one thing to one constituency and another to another constituency to curry favor with both. Well, I got to tell you, it feels to me like all of that is now over based on an interview that Rubio gave on the Univision Hispanic television network in South Florida on his immigration reform plan. This was a Spanish-speaking broadcast, but I have the translation. And on immigration reform, correct me if I'm wrong, Rubio has always said, border security first, everything else has to follow, and I won't even vote for my own legislation here unless I get everybody on board with securing the border first. And that's kept a lot of conservatives on board with him when they've been skeptical of immigration reform otherwise. But this is what Rubio said on Univision. The following will happen. First comes the legalization of the 11 million illegals in this country. That's first, he says now. Then comes measures to secure the border. And then comes the process of permanent residence. That's a complete flip-flop. A la every rank-and-file politician you can name. And now, unless Marco Rubio can show me otherwise, I got to put him in the barrel with the rest of them. And it breaks my heart, and it makes me angry. That's what I think. What do you think? Join me for the next edition of Bud Hedinger Live, my take and your calls on the hottest topics out there, right here on FM 104.5, AM 540 WFLA. I'll see you then.